Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Monday, January 3rd, 2022. Happy New Year, everyone. First off, I do want to invite you to our monthly market outlook this Wednesday. It will be held Wednesday after the market closes at 4 p.m. Central Time. The link I will provide here in the upcoming day, so please be on the lookout for that. But we'll be covering stocks to look at here, crypto currency including Bitcoin, Ethereum, and others. We'll be looking at stocks, futures, and also take your requests. It's going to be a great one here to begin the new year, so you'll want to join that one. Again, this Wednesday here, the PivotBoss monthly market outlook at 4 p.m. Central. I'll shoot you that link tomorrow. All right, here's a look at the ES in the daily time frame here. One thing, again, as you finish a year, you tend to do it in a quiet fashion. Sometimes not, sometimes yes, sometimes you see a bit of a climb. This time you saw it go flat and really die up here. 1, 2, 3, 4-day narrow range. You have 5 days now that is developing with today, so we'll go ahead and quantify that here. You'll see right there, very narrow compression here, just 25% of average, a 49.25 point range, and we're basically stuck within those boundaries. 47.50 on the downside here, 4800 on the upside. Which way are we going to go here? Pretty soon we're going to see expansion. One thing to keep in mind is that we have been obviously trending higher. The thought process for this quarter was, here's our key range, and that's going to be the key range to watch. The idea was to trap below the key range for the quarter and lead to a move all the way to 4800 and that 4805 target, and it basically got right to 4800, came just shy of that target, but that was the idea for Q4 and it played out perfectly. Now what you're looking for is how is price going to play off of the newly minted pivots here. That's the quarterly high of the previous quarter. Here's a quarterly low. The midpoint is here. So if you're going to reject these two levels early in the quarter, say price pushes above these levels and it can't hold, a failure to hold 47.50 opens up a return at the very least back to the previous quarter's mid. That takes you right back to support here of recent price action. So that means 47.50 is going to be the early key level to watch here early this week. A failure to hold that level could open up a rotation back down to begin the new year, back toward the midpoint of the previous quarter. Again, overall, we continue to see an uptrending move here, but what we have seen is a very clear lower boundary come into play. Perhaps we need to kind of rotate back down off the upper boundary to get another move back toward the upper portion of this range. 5,000 could be in view down the road. So again, watching 47.50 here early on. If we take a look at the NQ, one thing you'll see with the NQ is also it has been trending up. Very good uptrending channel here, upper trend line there, kind of stuck in this zone. Perhaps it also needs to come back for a little bit of a pullback before it can rise and get the next move. At the moment, we're seeing price do very similar price action here that we've seen the ES, which is sideways price action here, compression on a 5-day range, which means we could be looking at expansion pretty soon. A failure to hold the lower end of the range, 16.3, 16.325 opens up a move again back toward the midpoint of the previous quarter, which also lines up with that support here. So right now, narrow range at the upper end of this trading range. Short term, if you can't hold this support, you start to work your way back down toward 15.6 to 15.7. That could be a nice downside target. Overall, again, if we do get that pullback and we begin the new year with a little bit of weakness, there could be a trap here that leads to a nice continuation down the road up ahead for the NQ. So right now, again, near the upper zone of this uptrending channel. If we get a pullback, it could be a buy the dip and go. One thing to keep in mind though, if we can't hold, say, 15.50, say we drop down here and then we can't hold it, again, the previous quarter's low could be in play. Closing VWAP for the year would be in play, and that would be a significant push with clear targets in mind. All right, let's take a look here at crude oil now. Now, crude oil has seen quite the move here recently. The last thing we worked off of was this strong low. I mentioned this strong low right here out of this narrow range. When you get that narrow range and you break down, you develop that strong low. That might tell us the low is in 66s. You add plus 10, and that gets you 76. Plus 10 was our idea based off of ADR, and you can see price went to right to plus 10. Even then some. I mean, it got a little bit more as it got close to 78, nearly a plus 12 there, but a very good continuation to finish the year. And we're also seeing price react to that 76 zone that we talked about. So this high right there, if you bring it across, you can see it was resistance here, resistance, and it pushed through, made it support, tried to keep it support when offered, and here we are coming all the way back there and starting the year with a little bit of selling pressure. If you go into the intraday time frame, like a 60-minute chart, a great rounded top up there, and you're now starting to see a violation of that 75 level. Does that lead to further selling pressure here ahead back towards, say, 72, the 71, right in this zone? So right now, seeing quite a bit of selling pressure early on. A push through 75s here. If it cannot re-establish acceptance back above 75s, then we could be looking at more downside in the near term. Taking a look lastly here at gold futures. You'll see gold futures has been compressing tremendously over the last couple of quarters, actually throughout the entire year since that August 2020 high. We've seen a compression downward, we've seen a compression upward. Look at these bands here from R3 to S3, very compressed. That's how they finished the year with a pinching phase. So clearly gold is building up for a tremendous move here to come. So far, we're seeing selling pressure here to begin the new year with a bearish outside day. So you see a failed high above the previous session's high, above the previous month's high and close, and already dropping down. Major selling pressure from about 1822 half here, just over the last hour. And that could, again, pick up to the downside for a little while before it turns around. At the moment, you're seeing a strong top lead to a strong low, lead to a strong lower high, lead to a strong higher low, and you're building that compression right now, and soon we'll see a move to an edge. Where do we go? How far out? You know, again, this is your quarterly range. This is your pivot range here with the close. We're about to make a move to an edge, and given current selling pressure, if it finishes the day with weakness like this, we could be looking to a quick edge to begin the year to the downside, which again could swing us right back up until we're ready to see expansion. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out the rest of the week. Again, please join me Wednesday for our monthly market outlook to begin the 2022 year. All right, everyone, good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.